Yo, 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 what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. And I'm coming at you guys with another deck profile, which is kind of like my forte. Today, I'm showcasing to you guys my take on Mayakashis. Now, Mayakashis are really interesting, and I think that they're cool and they're like a fun deck. But I also think that there is one variation that has potential to be competitive, but it's just not the pure variation, and it's sad but true. So this list of Mayakashi is the FTK variant, where you're trying to deck your opponent out turn 1. And it can be done if your opponent has like 52 cards or less. Like, if it's more than 52, you have to sack with reborn cards to do the rest of the work. But it's a really strong deck, like, if it gets the combo, but it's fragile in the sense that if you don't have the combo, all you do is just end on one synchro, and then you have to basically rely on your opponent, hoping that they destroy your synchro by battle or a card effect, so that way you can basically snowball into like all your other effects, because like they trigger if one gets destroyed and they'll summon from grave, and you get their effects summoned from grave. So like if you can't FTK, you basically have to pray to God that your opponent destroys them so that you can get all these snowballing effects from grave. But the whole point of this list is to FTK, because I find that if my Kashis were ever to be competitive, this would be the reason why, because the deck's really fragile and it's not that great. Even when it does its full combo, it's like what it ends on is not viable enough, and it's too situational and too reliant on your opponent to be tier 2 material. It's like a tier 3 deck. But yeah, let's hop into my list and I'll show you guys how I'm playing the FTK. So we're gonna start off with the best card of our deck, the nutty starter card. Who would have thought that you have a 1-card combo in this deck? Like Prank Kids and Nefertits don't even have 1-card combos, but this deck does. So yeah, this is insane. Like self-contained, this is all you need. Just this 1 card will get you so far ahead. It's just the nuts. Like, this card is the main reason why you can FTK. And in fact, a lot of times, if you don't resolve this, you can't even do the FTK, because you don't get to get out your, which I'm going to explain right now, your Daki. Daki, I'm actually maximizing on her, and these are the only Mayakashi monsters that I'm playing in the list, because these are the only ones you need. These are part of the FTK. All the other ones, you won't even get a chance to summon them. So these are integral and part of the combo. I still chose to maximize on Daki because some hands you can do the combo without him. And it's by still having access to Daki and other combo pieces like Unizombie and Solitaire and stuff like that, you can still do the combo. But it just really sucks when you don't have access to her. That's why I felt like playing 3 for her was important. But you basically play 7 copies of Daki. I'm sorry, 7 copies of Hajun, and then, you know, basically 6 copies of Daki. Like to search, and then he counts as 3 more of her. But the main reason for even having this in the combo is just to get access to her, because her effect to summon herself from grave is not once per turn. So every time you synchro summon, she summons herself back out for the grave, and she's a tuner, and you synchro climb from 3 all the way to 11, and then you play any reborn card, like anything, like you know, like Monster Reborn, Soul Charge, the World Legacy card, or even just this card right here, Book of Life. You get her back, and then you can just finish decking your opponent out. So it's really important. So like, in order for this deck to FTK, you have to open with a way to get to him or her. Well, basically him, and you have to have Tower of the Bone Souls on field. So it's specific, but also because it's specific, my list plays a lot of draw power to get me to my combo pieces that I need. And opening with Solitaire allows you to have access to your Tower of Bone Souls. So basically, you just have to open with this, plus anything that gets to like Solitaire, Unizombie, or the Bone Souls, or vice versa. You can open with Bone Souls, plus anything that gets you to like Unizombie, Solitaire, etc., etc., because you can do combos off of them too. But yeah, these are all the Mayakashis that I play in the list. And next up, we have Solitaire. The reason why Solitaire is really important in this list is obviously because he gives you access to Unizombie, and Unizombie makes the deck work. Unizombie fixes your hands, it makes your hands more playable, and a lot of the times when you don't have access to an extender that gets Bone of the Souls on the tower on field plus the Hajun, this is the reason why you can get them both on the field. Like, especially when you like open the nuts. Like, yeah, like if you open the nuts but you don't have a way to get both of them on field, you use Unizombie to actually like pitch from hand and grave, and then you use Mizuki to bring either the tower or this guy out, and then you can just do your full combo like that, which is really nuts. So yeah, Unizombie is ideal in this deck. You gotta play 3, and the 3 Solitaires, or to increase my chances of drawing Unizombie. And also to supplement for when I don't have Unizombie, I like Gozuki's. Oftentimes, Gozuki is better than Unizombie because his effect can send any combo piece you need. And then when you get rid of him, which is really awesome, like I love that when you get rid of him, he summons one from hand, which actually extends your combos a lot. And oftentimes, I don't even summon him. Like, I'll just dump him just to use his effect from grave to special another one from hand. So a lot of times, I don't even normal summon him. Like, I'll just pitch him off of Unizombie, especially if I have him in hand. And I'll get his effect, banish one, and then summon another guy from hand. And that way, I can have this plus the tower, and I can just do the FTK. So Gozuki's imperative too, like basically integral, and you just gotta play it like this. Like, you play double Gozuki because opening up with him is amazing in your hand, especially when you have Unizombie. So now Unizombie can pitch him, and you just get the full combo. Like, you get to summon this guy from hand, and then you get to basically Mizuki back the tower, and you just have FTK, like, off the rip. And then triple Mizuki, also really nice to open with him in your hand for when you have Unizombie. That way you get to reborn 2 guys, which helps you because you can reborn your tower, which Soul Absorbing Bone Tower, I only have 2, but you're supposed to play 3. When I got this deck, I got it at Regionals, and the guy that I got it from, he didn't have 3. But I would play 3 if I had 3, so I'm playing my list with 2. But this is the only reason why you can FTK. So it's more important to get access to this than it is to these, because you have more cards that access your Hajun, the Winged Mayakashi, then you have cards that access this. So you got to cater your deck and make it more focused to getting to him. But he's the main reason why you FTK, because you're going to deck your opponent out by special summoning a bunch of zombies, and that's how it's going to work. It's really, really good. I think the only deck that could play through that is probably like Lightsworns and maybe like Burning Abyss. Like, they'll have a lot of reactions. But you just, you know, you got to take it with the risk that the deck comes with, and it's like, it's a deck out FTK. So these are all the monsters I play. Because the deck is already so glass cannon and it can brick, I decided that instead of playing hand traps, that I would put the slots where hand traps would be as combo pieces. So instead of hand traps, I decided to play more combo pieces and cards that get me to the combo. Because the deck's already glass cannon and it already can brick, so you just need as many cards that get you there as possible. Now for our spells, we have 3 Mayakashi Return. I wish that this card wasn't once per turn, but I understand why. It's nuts. It either adds a Mayakashi card or sends one from deck to grave. And the effect I use all the time is just basically to search. Like, it's a rare occasion when you send, but if it wasn't once per turn, I would use to add one and then use it to send one. It's broken. It really is. And then I play 3 Hand Destruction. My reason for Hand Destruction is it sets up for this bad boy right here, Book of Life, when you don't have the full combo. And also 2, it lets me draw 2 and dig deeper into my deck. And 3, it sets my grave up so that I have, like, for example, if I have this guy, but I don't have a way to normal summon him and then special another guy, I'll Hand Destruction him and then bring him back off Mizuki, and then I get to normal summon this guy, and then I have my FTK. So Hand Destruction just sets up for so many plays. It's so broken. It's not once per turn, and the other interaction that comes up is if your opponent is playing more than 52 cards, you can deck them out because of Hand Destruction, which is insane. So it really helps out a lot, you guys. Like, Hand Destruction is so good, and it's not once per turn, so you got to play 3 of it. It's draw 2, and it gives me a high chance of seeing my combo pieces because I'm drawing 2 cards. Next up, I play 3 Into the Voids, and because this deck is trying to FTK you, I don't care that I'm going to have to discard all my cards at the end phase, because in my mind, I'm going to win anyways. If my opponent can't draw for turn, I've already won, so it doesn't matter what cards I have in my hand at the end. It just matters what cards I have in my hand in the start of the game in my combo sequence. And it's not once per turn, so I'm trying to draw as much as possible to get to my combo pieces. So this could be Ash Blossom and Drone Lock, but Ash and Drone Lock don't progress your game state. And because this deck can already brick, you need to maximize on anything that could get you to a combo piece. So 3 Hand Destruction, 3 Into the Void, 2 Dark World Dealings. I didn't want to play 3 because instead I opted to play 2 Pots, being that the only cards that you can afford to banish off Pot are her and your tower. So with that logic in mind, I felt that Pot was still a really powerful card to play, especially because my list is supposed to have 3 towers in the first place. And a lot of the times, Pot is that kind of card where it's like either you resolve Pot and you get a chance to get the combo, or you don't resolve Pot and you don't have the combo in the first place, because I never resolve Pot if I already have the combo. It's pointless. You resolve Pot when your hand does not have the combo pieces you need. So you do play the risk of banishing combo pieces that you need, But think of it this way in this logic. If you don't have the combo pieces you need in your hand, would it really matter that you were playing the risk of banishing them if you weren't going to get them in the first place if you didn't have the pot? So it's high risk, high reward, and everything in this deck that you need is at 3. The tower, the bone absorbing tower, it's supposed to be at 3, and I'm going to get one more. But yeah, pot's really nuts in this deck. It really helps. Like, you just need all the draw power that you can get because all your combo pieces are not all searchable, so you need to draw into them. And then we have 3 Call of the Mummy. This card, you got to see it. Like, I play 3 of it, and I play a lot of draw power because if you have the tower, you special summon the tower off of this, and then you normal summon your Majun, and you use Majun's effect to summon out your Dabi or your Daki, and then you have the full combo just off of that. Like, with Daki and Majun and the Tower of the Bone Souls, or whatever his name is, you just get to deck your opponent out. Well, you don't get to completely deck them out. You do need an extender, but I'll show you guys all my extenders right now. And this is another reason why my deck list plays so much draw power, because your hands have to be so specific. Ask anybody that plays Mayakashi FTK, they know that your hand has to be specific to get it. Like, you specifically need Majun, and you specifically need Tower of Bone Souls. You specifically need a way to get both of them on the field, and you specifically need a card that brings a monster back from the grave. That's a lot that you need. So the draw power is justified. So we have 3 Book of Life. You set up for this with either your tower, which tower sets up for it while you're doing the combo. The first sequence of the combo, you don't get to deck your opponent out, but you're more than likely will get monsters in their grave. So that way, when you activate this and you bring back your Daki, or you bring back anything that can re-extend the combo, then you can finish decking them out. So you have 3 of this because it's insane. It's not once per turn, and you need to open up with a way to reborn. So you play 3 of this, you play 1 Succession, 1 Reborn, 1 Soul Charge. And these are your 6 revival cards. So if you open with any of these 6 plus the combo, you've got it. You're going to deck them out. And then we play 1 for 1 because Manjun is really important, and this is your 7th copy of him. And then we play Foolish, which is your 7th copy of Daki, or it can be your Tower of Bone Souls for when you have the combo with Unizombie and you can pitch Mizuki and bring back the Tower of Bone Souls off of this, and you can still do the combo. Or when you have the Tower Bone Souls already in hand, and you need to Mizuki back, for example, your Majun, so he can bring out Daki. So it's very justified, and you know, the deck list, I feel like this is like one of the better ones, and it doesn't really need any refining. It's just the way the deck is played, you just have to open specific cards. There's no other way. So with that in mind, like I said, that's why I play all the draw power that I play, and I wouldn't cut anything from this deck. I wouldn't play hand traps or anything like that. Everything that I play has to be combo pieces. And if you look, all my monsters are combo pieces, and all of my spells are combo pieces. Even the pot and the drillings and the Into the Void and hand destruction count as combo pieces because they get me to my combo pieces. But Dark World Dealings, Dark World Dealings and hand destruction actually have better synergy just outside of draw power because they allow you to set up your grave better too, which is great. So yeah, like, the list is amazing. I really like it a lot. I wouldn't change the main, like, at all. Like, I would keep it exactly how it is. Like, I tried the other Mayakashi monsters, but for the FTK variant, none of the other Mayakashi monsters ever come up. So we have 1 Yugioh. You just summon 1 for the combo, because, like, if you have World Legacy Succession, that's where she becomes relevant. And I only have 1 Succession, but I definitely would be playing 2 Successions. But I ended up selling 1 at the regionals. But yeah, you want to play double Succession in this list. As many revival cards as you could play, maximize on them, because a revival card is integral for the combo. But yeah, that's the main reason for even making her. Is just for the Succession play, but also it just helps because she extends your plays as well, opening the zone so that you can synchro a lot more. And then I play 2 copies of the Skeletal Mayakashi. His name's hard to pronounce. You only play 2 of them because a lot of the times for the combo, when you're ending on the FTK, you only have to sync climb for the 2nd time into him. You don't have to go all the way into him. But if you have to, you'll go into him again. That's why the 2nd one comes up. But you never make 3 of this in a duel. And even if you don't FTK, you still never make 3 of this. So you just play 2. But I still play 3 of all the other Mayakashis. Because trust me, they come up a lot. Like, you go through a set of 2 each for the combo. But if for some reason the combo doesn't work, or you get stopped, or you can't deck them out, you're going to need an extra one of each of them. Because the restrictions for this deck say your extra deck you can only summon for your extra deck summoning these guys. So it really sucks. And you can play other monsters because of Unizombie and Solitaire. But because all I want to do is FTK, I just decided to maximize on all the Mayakashi monsters, and this is all that I play. And if you don't know their effects, basically you can only control one of them, and they have weird effects. So I'll read them all to you just in case you don't know what they do. I'll explain to you how all of them work. So basically, the main part of the mechanic of this deck is these synchro monsters don't have effects when they're on the field. They're kind of like useless blanks. They have effects in grave, which trigger basically by one of your Mayakashis being destroyed by battle or card effect while they're in grave. They summon themselves from grave, and then they get their effect based on, you know, which one is summoned. So this guy basically, if he's summoned from the grave, you activate this effect. This turn, monsters you control your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. And also keep in mind, they have to banish one other zombie from grave to resolve their effect to summon. So he protects your monsters from battle. This guy, he has each player send the top 3 cards of their deck to their graveyard. So he can help because you are trying to deck your opponent out, but that doesn't come up the way you think it would. And then this guy is really nice because he's basically an investee on your opponent's turn. But I don't like that their effects are so underwhelming. It's like you have to go through all this trial, tribulation, and trauma just to get their effects from grave. And then when they do it, it's so underwhelming and lackluster and minuscule. It's sad. And then he's a 1-for-1 too, where he just destroys a monster. The only benefit is that they don't target. But this spot spells, spells or traps monsters. This guy mills. This guy protects you guys from battle. This guy comes out and he's unaffected by card effects, and he's a 33 beater. So he's like the only one that you can actually like combat the meta with legitimately. But it's only that turn, and that sucks. But if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, if one Mayakashi dies, you can actually chain all their effects to summon. Because it basically, let me see. Yeah, there's nothing that states that it has to chain directly like how a Paleozoic Trap does. So basically, you should be. I've never got to that point because I'm playing the FTK build. But theoretically, if one of your guys die, you should be able to summon all of them from the grave, which means that you would be able to mill, protect your guys from battle, pop, make this guy unaffected, and you should be able to like OTK because you have a lot of damage. And then she's still integral too because his effect only works if the link is destroyed. But her effect is actually really garbage. Like, I don't even want to read it to you. She's just garbage. She's just a link too. So yeah, that's going to conclude the deck profile, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to play Mayakashis, my recommendation is to play the FTK. It's the only way this deck can even be tier 2.5 at best. Not even tier 2. It can't get there. It just can't, because against the best decks and against hand traps and disruptions, it crumbles. It's already so fragile, and it really needs some refinery, and it just needs some more support too that'll make it better. But God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content, and you folks have a beautiful day, okay? Don't do drugs. Peace. Stay positive.